All right, we're going to do quiz 23 study guide today. And your quiz tomorrow will be paper pencil. You will not have access to computers. So problem number 1, negative 10 plus square root of x plus 8 is equal to negative 4. So we're going to add 10 to each side. This square root of x plus 8 drops down, and it's equal to 6. And then we're going to square each side. Square root of x plus 8 squared is x plus 8, and that's equal to 36. And then subtract 8 from each side. So our x is equal to 28. And then I would recommend that you check your answer, or that you check all answers. Take the 28, put it back in the equation. And see if it makes the equation true. All right, so this would be negative 10 plus the square root of 36 equals negative 4. The square root of 36 is 6. So negative 10 plus 6 does equal negative 4. So that's a good solution. Any of these problems that have two solutions, you need to check both, because there will be extraneous solutions that you will have to eliminate on the quiz tomorrow. Problem number 2. We've got 2 times the fifth root of x plus 6 to the third plus 3 equal to 19. So subtract 3 from each side. Bring down this 2 and then rewrite this radical in exponent form. So x plus 6 to the 3/5. It's equal to 19 minus 3 is 16. Divide both sides by 2. So x plus 6 to the 3/5 is equal to 8. And then raise each side to the reciprocal of this exponent, which would be 5 over 3. These cancel out, and x plus 6 is equal to 8 raised to the 5/3 power, which is 32. And then you can subtract 6 from each side. And then check your solution. Problem number 3, got x plus 10 raised to the 2/3 power equal to 4. So we're going to raise both sides to the 3/2 power. These exponents will cancel. And we said earlier in the week that if this numerator or denominator that we're raising is even, then this binomial goes into the absolute value symbol. And 4 to the 3/2 power is equal to 8. So now you've got an absolute value equation to solve. So we're going to take x plus 10, make it equal to 8, and x plus 10 equal to -8. Subtract 10 from each side. We get an x that's equal to -2. And then again, subtract 10 from each side. And we get an x that's equal to -18. And then check each or both of the solutions back in their original equation and make sure that one of them is not extraneous. Problem number 4. Square root 3x plus 28 minus 8 is equal to x. So we're going to add 8 to each side. We're going to get square root 3x plus 28 equal to x plus 8. We got to get rid of this radical, so we're going to square both sides. On the left-hand side, we're left with 3x plus 28. On the right-hand side, we're left with x squared plus 16x plus 64. Subtract 3x and 28 from each side. On the left-hand side, we get 0. On the right-hand side, x squared plus 13x plus 36. So we factor the right side. So 0 equals x plus 9 times x plus 4. And then set each factor equal to 0. So x plus 9 equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. And solve each. And then check both solutions. All right, problem number 5. Five x is equal to the square root of 10 plus 15x. We need to get rid of the radicals, so we're going to square both sides. Five x squared, that's equal to 25x squared. And that's going to be equal to 10 plus 15x. So then we can subtract 10 and 15x from each side. So this 25x, sorry, subtract 10 and 15x from each side. So this is a little sloppy over here, but minus 10 and minus 15x. So on the left-hand side, we get 25x squared minus 15x minus 10 is equal to 0. Now, in a trinomial where everything is divisible by the same thing, all right, this 25, 15, and 10, they're all divisible by 5. So we can divide both sides by 5. And we're going to get 5x squared minus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. And then we've got to factor this 5x squared minus 3x minus 2. So we've done this a couple different ways, but I like this tic-tac-toe table. Block off this top left square. Then the factors of 5x squared go in these two locations. So 5x and x. The factors of 2 are going to go in the top right and the bottom left. But we're going to use this as a matrix at the same time. All right? So I'm going to put a 2 here and a 1 here. Now we multiply through this matrix. So 5x times x is 5x squared. That matches this first term. X times 2 is 2x. 5x times 1 is 5x. And when we add these two together, we need to get this middle term. So we need for this 5x to be negative. So for this 5x to be negative, this 1 has to be negative. All right, so that makes our 5x negative. And this 2 would have to be positive. And then we've got positive 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So everything checks out. So these are our factors. So this is equal to 5x plus 2 times x minus 1. Still equal to 0. And we're going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. So 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. X minus 1 is equal to 0. Get an x equal to negative 2/5. And an x that's equal to 1. And then again, you'll have to take both of these solutions plug them back into the original equation where the x is, and eliminate any extraneous solutions. All right, does anybody have any questions? 5 questions on the quiz tomorrow. They're going to be worth 2 points each. Like I said, you're not going to have access to computers, so make sure that you've got a calculator with you when you come to class tomorrow, and that you've got your notes in your notebook. Hopefully you'll use the rest of the period today for electronic assignments and or working in the ALEKS app.